Johnny B has been on the show before, but he's, for whatever reason, been overlooked. I think he's a really nice dog with a very interesting look, and we want to showcase him again today. And he's your best friend now because you took him to an event, and he's like, Sean's my guy. He's got all the treats. So Johnny is about a 2 to 3 year old dog. He came to us as a stray, and he is an active guy. Sometimes Johnny does what they say, they comes in a little hot. Like when you initially meet him, he can be a little overly energetic when you're getting him out of the kennel in the morning, things like that, just because he's so excited. But then he kind of mellows out a little bit. Even today, he came in, all jumping all over the place, and now he's kind of relaxing, paying attention to who has some treats. He's a dog that's going to need a fair amount of exercise. So, fenced yards are not requirements to adopt from us, but if you don't have a fenced yard, thinking about alternatives like, long lines where you can take him out somewhere in an open field and have him or even in your backyard and have him feel like he's off leash. Or utilizing a lot of the fenced-in tennis courts and basketball courts that we have in the area. If nobody's using them, go in there. You can shut the door. Then he's able to run around and get that release of all that energy. He, as you have seen, he does know a lot of basic good manners things. So he does know sit. He also knows a down. He knows paw, which a lot of people like. He has been working on taking his treats more gently. In the beginning, he was a little bit grabby and overeager, but he is learning to be more patient and take them much more nicely. But, first thing in the morning when he's all amped up, you might want to avoid the, 2-finger treat give, do it with an open hand or drop it on the ground. So until he kind of relaxes a little bit more.
Yeah. So Johnny was fortunate enough to be part of our Home for the Holidays foster program. And he stayed with a family for a few days, and we learned some additional stuff about him. What was that?
So one of the most important things I think we learned about Johnny is that he is able to navigate living in a multi-dog household. He does well with the other dogs. He does have a higher energy play style, but this family actually had 4 dogs, I think a German Shepherd and then 3 Corgis. And so he was able to figure out how he could interact after just a couple of days with each dog and found one that was able to play in more of, his style of play. So he is able to navigate those things and peacefully coexist, even if they don't match necessarily his play style. They also stated over and over again that he's a massive cuddler. He is indiscriminate. He will cuddle with anybody. So if, a stranger comes in your house, he's not going to say, hey, you're not supposed to be here. He's going to be like, you want to cuddle me, as his evidence right now, right? He's like, this is what he does with everybody, and this is what he really enjoys, especially if he's had that opportunity to kind of run off some exercise. They were crating him when they were feeding just because, they had a large number of dogs and he was fine in a crate. But they also noted that he still needed to work on walking nicely on his leash and not pulling. So we got a lot of really good information from that. And hopefully having that information available to the public will maybe help find him the perfect home. If you think your household is the right one for Johnny B, you can go to visitfcac.as.me to book an appointment to meet him.